the Hollywood house parties in Sunset Hills. These niggas used to take that they would put on their lips, and then they would ask a girl if they could get a sip of her drink. And they would put the agent, they would rub it on the rim, and then when the girl would continue to drink her drink, she would ingest it, and the next thing you know, the bitch numb and dead, and they got her in the tub, screwing in.
They want me to tell the total story. Okay, I'll finish it. So then what happens is they presented a bad contract, and you like, I'm not signing that shit. And they like, oh, you don't want to sign it?
And then they bring out the videotape.
Hop in the tape. Let me show you what this nigga did last night. And you like, oh, I'm gonna sign this right now. I don't want nobody to see that. Bow wow. Okay, move right along.
Oh,
move right along.
You made my husband walk away. I don't even know what to say.
Shout out to Snoop for handling that for Bow, but they should have got.
Oh my God! You just turned. I don't even know if I'm old enough for this conversation anymore. I just became like a whole 3-year-old. I emotionally regress from what you just said.
She is here to correct any misinformation. Jaguar Wright is widely regarded as the RB equivalent of Cat Williams.
That's the beautiful thing about being the kind of honest I am. Because what I'm saying is true, because what I'm saying is backed up on honest to God, complete integrity, I can say something like that. Let everybody be mad about it and step the away. And let's see what reality say. It ain't my fault I be ahead of the curve. It really ain't my fault. I'm just operating in my principle. And then I heard about some of the troubles that came to your door. But if I'm correct, I want to say this while we on camera. When we finished the interview that day, didn't I give y'all some warnings about things that might happen?
Yeah.
Because of this interview.
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
No.
But was I right?
Yeah. Some of the things, the Tevin Campbell thing was interesting to me because we just hadn't heard from him, and he just.
She's here to clear up any misinformation. Jaguar Wright is often seen as the R&B version of Cat Williams.
He didn't go nowhere when he was trying to knock me out, screw me in the tub, like I'm a dead person.
But wait a minute, I know why. Hollywood.
You just talking about this. I gotta light up my CBD.
Look, light up your CBD, but let me get this in. I know why Hollywood is so invested with the anal cavity. But I want to throw something at you. You tell me if this is true, right? It happens at a lot of parties. You're thinking about signing. I'm talking about the dudes, right? You go to this party. Let's say it's Cash Money. Okay, you go to this party. You get knocked out. Train ran on you in your ass. It's videotaped. You wake up. They say you gonna sign.
That's how they get them to put the dresses on.
Thank you. I knew
Hollywood is black. Is blackmail central.
And they all doing each other in the. It's.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Anybody has a vagina, but it's dominion. It's that final frontier.
They didn't all been in each other's, so they literally are all.
If that is true, wait a minute. If that is true, there's only one man to blame for it.
Chris Stokes. Sorry,
you said Chris Stokes, and you right. You know what still trips me out? That if you go back to the MTV Cribs episode that they did with Chris,
right?
And Marcus was there because Marcus was living there because he was Marcus's guardian. You remember that Cribs?
Yep.
It was an amazing apartment, but they only had one bedroom.
Yeah.
And they allowed that film to hit the television.
Like we were dumb.
What you got? Two grown ass men, a young man and an older man, living in a 1-bedroom apartment for where the Marcus sleep in the tub? They can't even sleep in the bed. They gotta sleep on the couch. That's how comfortable that was. He didn't even bother to rent a 2-bedroom.
So
Yeah.
nobody would have suspicion.
Because that was his name.
I'm just saying, why would you live in a 1-bedroom apartment with the boy you a guardian of, who's your artist, who's making thousands of dollars a show but don't got his own bedroom?
According to Wright, she is currently making alarming accusations about Jay-Z's alleged involvement in Diddy's outbursts. Their friendship, she claims, goes far beyond simply recording music together. Here's what you need to know. Jaguar revealed that several artists in the industry have faced different forms of harassment, suggesting that figures like Diddy, Shanks, and Jay-Z share responsibility for the suffering these men endure in pursuit of power and pleasure. She also implied that many of them fit the description of so-called homophobic thugs.
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning. Come on. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this bullshit ass motherfucking game with people that you love, that you like, you know, it's too many coincidences.
Too many. You
honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog too. And congratulations, young man. Run as fast as Cassie did.
Jaguar Wright claimed that to maintain control, music moguls like Diddy have created a hostile environment in the industry, often maintaining toxic relationships with their artists. She said she personally witnessed this dark side during a studio visit, but hinted that it was only the beginning of a much deeper problem. According to her, the industry is not about nurturing genuine talent, but about finding individuals willing to meet unique demands in exchange for money, forcing musicians to endure humiliation just to succeed. Wright alleged that Diddy's influence was supported by powerful executives such as Jay-Z and Clive Davis, who not only encouraged his behavior, but also used him to recruit new artists for their own enjoyment. She further suggested that Diddy's dominance comes from both the fear instilled by his infamous parties and the backing he receives from Jay-Z. Wright claimed that artists are often coerced into signing contracts with hidden expectations involving private affairs, recalling one incident where she witnessed Diddy behaving suspiciously around Christopher Williams, implying that questionable actions were exchanged for career opportunities. Finally, She raised concerns about the unexplained deaths of Uptown Records members, suggesting a troubling pattern tied to protecting Diddy's reputation and legacy.
It all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff and he's in the exotic bookstores and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, you know, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, you know, he got to go put it on the counter and, you know, show everybody what he's getting. So as he's going, I'm just looking at the places where he's picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I was like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said plug. And I was like, hey, yo, I was messing with him because people don't understand, you know, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still going to tease him. I'm still going to mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said plug. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you can do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. When he got to, I just waited at the counter. When he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I'm like, he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store.
However, questions remain about where Jaguar Wright is getting all these details verified. Musician John, along with other well-known figures, supported the claims, suggesting that Diddy has been actively involved in organizing exclusive parties where Hollywood's elite allegedly indulge in more than just cocktails. According to Gene, Diddy is not merely a guest at these events but plays a central role, often seeking out new attendees and giving the impression that these gatherings are strictly invitation only.
I knew I used to wait outside of Turkish baths for him. You know what they do in the Turkish baths?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's where a lot of gay men meet. And they all take hot baths together. To each his own though, bruh. But that's a lot of that these guys get into when they start having certain meetings with certain people and they meet them at the Turkish bath and they do their meetings and they meet their people in those type of situations where they're comfortable at. So they don't have to worry about their indiscretions coming out. You mean? You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, me and the driver be outside. He'll run into the Turkish.
While Gene didn't directly mention Jay-Z, it is widely assumed who Diddy's closest business partner is and where much of the party funding originates. In the interview, Gene claimed that these gatherings act as playgrounds for Hollywood's elite, figures with both influence and the resources to pay hefty fees for access to highly secretive and unusual events, allowing them to indulge in their darkest fantasies. He went on to paint a startling picture, describing Turkish baths as a regular meeting spot for men in secret, but suggested that these encounters extend far beyond casual meetings, alleging that they form part of a larger network arranged by Diddy, and most likely with Jay-Z's involvement as well.
Shouldn't be laughing about that, man, you know, because she is a victim. You know what I'm saying? She is a victim, man, and if this is her victim story, we got to be more I think more compassionate. She was 17 years old at the time. She was fascinated by that whole thing, getting on a G4, G5 jet. You understand? And what was her parents, man? What was her daddy, her mama? They didn't miss their child. She didn't come home that night. But what you trying to do? So to say that what he's being known for with Cassie, I can only equate to some of the things that I've seen him and Kim go through. You understand what I'm saying? So people get mad, you know, but it is what it is. I can only equate his actions like that.
Crazy.
Adding to this, Gondel claimed that Shanks coerced Cassie Ventura into having sexual encounters with other men, saying he personally witnessed her being assaulted on multiple occasions, and in some instances, even by him. Wright, according to her own statements, has already provided supporting documentation for these claims, which she argues makes the situation undeniable.
I will advocate for you. Because see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us.
Tell him, please, tell him.
And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe. I will advocate for you, but you are a victim. And I know that. Congratulations on surviving and congratulations on standing up. I'll advocate for you. F that and his little dog.
Now you want to know what's crazy, Jaguar?
What?
I was, and I can just say it now because I mean I'm not gonna do it. So why not just talk about it now? I had an offer to go over there to Revolt.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep, I had an offer. They've been watching, and you know I was told that, hey, I can have you in the room with Puff tomorrow. And that just sounded crazy to me. That just like you can have me in the room with him tomorrow. Like what? Excuse me.
Like it's the grandest honor on earth.
And then there was the death of Kim Porter in 2023, which Wright alleged Jay-Z helped arrange. Her passing came as a shock to many, especially to her ex-partner, Sean Diddy Combs, with whom she shared 3 children. While details remain uncertain, Wright strongly implied that Diddy's involvement in her death is highly questionable.
Even if they call me about the with Kim, they say, yo, Gene, did you see him beat Kim? I said, on that particular case, no. Have I seen him rough Kim up and use the pillow? They you know, he liked to play fight and be hurting the girls while he play fight. Have I seen him do that? Yeah, I've seen him done that. You understand? And I've asked him, you all right? You good? Y'all good? And she just look and stuff. He'll stop. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like a big uncle one time. So now, when he get to the hospital, his right wrist is ripped open. So, Mr. Dill, when you got to the hospital, what happened? Well, I seen his wrist ripped up. I would testify that I seen his wrist wrapped up in a t-shirt, and he said it right there in front of Kim. You know what I'm saying? That, yo, you could have killed him because she hit an artery. You understand? And I would tell how I saw how Kim looked, and I would testify to everything if I was told to. You know, if I was brought in to testify against that. You understand? I'm not gonna sit there and wait in jail for him. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
So you don't have no problem testifying?
I have no problem sitting in the court of law, doing my due diligence and testifying on stuff that I already spoke of on the internet. When I talked about him, Kim, and she had to cut his wrist to get him off of me, I would tell what I saw when I went to the hospital. I have no problem. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody think. If I've already said it on the internet, if I've already said it on different platforms and programs.
Given that Kim Porter remained committed to Diddy and supported him through both highs and lows, her sudden death at the age of 47 from lobar pneumonia raised many questions. The actress and model had been involved in a long and turbulent relationship with the producer and rapper, and many wondered why he never asked her to marry him. Some speculated that he was too consumed with his career and other women, or that he feared commitment, while others went further, accusing him of abusing Porter both physically and psychologically, allegations echoed by his former security guard, Gene Deal.
Come and see the power of that moment, the amazing things that we did with our bodies and our minds and our spirits. There was not one person in that room that was not elevated that night. And everyone in that room would be a liar if they said that I wasn't responsible for 75% of it. I understand and I lament and I cry and I grieve for Chris Brown's frustration because I know what it's like to be the fucking best and they won't let you be. I just decided I was going to find another way. I'm going to burn it all to the fucking ground. Fuck you all. None of you have the right to police God's gift. And what fucking gives a man a right to think that he gets to place a monetary value on a gift from God and then enforce it with treachery and barbary? Like you fucking pimping God's gift? Most of y'all don't even fucking pay taxes to the God you serve. Fucking cheating. Shell corporation after shell corporation. Fuck you mean, like cruelty-free artistry. That's the challenge. Can we make albums without a sexual assault involved? Can we make albums without peeping Toms looking in girls' green rooms and dressing rooms? Can we make albums without the girls in the videos being sodomized right before they were thrown on camera and told to smile? Otherwise, they were going to get sodomized again, but sniff this shit and you'll be okay. Like, can we release projects without any of that kind of shit happening?
That's all for now. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with further information.